There are directives from the Word of God that we hear all the time, like pray without ceasing, be content. We hear them so often that they almost become cliche. So we're like, yeah, I know that. Got it. But when it comes to an actual situation, it's not always part of our reality. It's the same with walking by faith. It's fundamental to our faith. You can't count the number of times you've heard it, yet with every new situation, it's hard to actually do it. But when it comes to pursuing a God-sized dream, we have to get well acquainted with putting it into practice. We have to walk by faith. 2 Corinthians 5:7 gives us our marching orders. For we walk by faith, not by sight. Hebrews 11:6 says this, and without faith it is impossible to please him. For he who comes to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those who seek him. We then get examples in Hebrews 11 of those who walked by faith in what God called them to do. Noah had to build a gigantic ark so that he and his family would be saved from the flood that God said was coming. And they had never even seen rain. By faith, day after day, he built it anyway. Abraham left his home and extended family when God called him. He didn't know where he was going or how God would fulfill his promise. By faith, he went anyway. And talk about God-sized dreams. Sarah was 90 and had never been able to have a child. And now she was well beyond the time of conception. But Hebrews 11:11 says, by faith, even Sarah herself received ability to conceive, even beyond the proper time of life, since she considered him faithful who had promised. The list goes on and on, but I have to read Hebrews 11:32 through 34. And what more shall I say? For time will fail me if I tell of Gideon, Barak, Samson, Jephthah, of David and Samuel and the prophets, who by faith conquered kingdoms, performed acts of righteousness, obtained promises, shut the mouths of lions, quenched the power of fire, escaped the edge of the sword, from weakness were made strong, became mighty in war, put foreign armies to flight. All of that by faith. Faith in God. The same God we know and cling to. We cannot be thrown by the fact that we can't see up ahead, that we don't know what will happen or how it will happen. That's a given. We don't walk by sight, but though we can't see it, we move with eyes of faith. The Lord will reveal what we need to know as we move. He will provide what we need and open doors as we move. He won't establish the God-sized dream until we move by faith. Take a tiny step and watch how God responds. Then take another and another. That's what this journey is about. Walking with God, seeing his glory in those tiny steps. Without faith, it is impossible to please him. But stand on this promise in Hebrews 11:6 in your pursuit. For he who comes to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of those who seek him. Stand on this one too, that God is faithful. In the comments, share a step of faith you've taken recently, or share a step of faith that you know you need to take. And let's join in prayer over those. I'm just believing God will move mightily among us and be glorified as we walk out these pursuits by faith. Subscribe, share. I will see you in the next video. Keep clinging.